There are water fountains everywhere from which you can obviously drink. If I am in such an expensive country, the least I expect is to be given clean water everywhere. Friends, I greet you from Switzerland, the most expensive country in the world, where the minimum monthly salary is $3,900. Maintaining a family of 4 costs you more than $7,000 per month. And as a tourist, you can spend more than $500 a day with very few luxuries. Let's indeed explore this very expensive territory. Let's absolutely, truly go for it. The population of Switzerland is about 87 million people, of which just under 30% are foreigners. Here, 4 or 5 official languages are spoken depending on your interpretation. In most of the country, German is spoken. The second most spoken language is French. In the regions bordering Italy, Italian is spoken. And less than 4% of the country speaks a language called Romansh. Now, the 5th language would be Swiss German, which, if we go by its technical definition, is indeed German. But many Germans have told me that they don't understand it, that it is very different, with other words and other pronunciations. So we could say that it is their 5th language. Its official currency is the Swiss franc, which many years ago was one of the most expensive currencies in the world. Nowadays, it is quite on par with the euro and the dollar. 1 Swiss franc is something like $8. These are their banknotes. I like them very colorful. They remind me a bit of the banknotes from Costa Rica. There is a disturbing fact, I suppose it could indeed be very disturbing, which is that when you go to an ATM, the minimum amount you can withdraw from most of them is 100 Swiss francs. 100 francs or more, that's a lot of money. None of this, I'm gonna take out my 100 pesos for the tortillas. No, my $200 for the recharge. No, no, no. The minimum amount you can withdraw is 100 or $100 Swiss francs. To make it understandable, for example, for people from Mexico, it's like going to the ATM, and the minimum amount you can withdraw is $2,000. What a rather disturbing fact. A sign that this country is indeed very expensive. Want another one? What a disturbing fact. In Switzerland, they have the most expensive coffee in the world. A cup like this in any cafe costs you $3.65 or more. In fact, this one I just bought cost me, check it out, $4.30. Not even. It's an espresso from a machine that took the lady 1 minute to serve me. And it's like this everywhere. Whether you're in a small or large city, everything is very expensive. Let's see, for example, how much does it cost to set up one of these Nememan cutters? 1 Swiss franc to start and almost $0.50 per minute. That means if you take 20 minutes to get to work in one of these, it will cost you about $11 or so. I'll give you another example. The other day I was in a city called Davos, which is like a very top, very upscale city. I took an Uber for about 15 minutes and it cost me just under $90. Not that it always costs that much. There was probably very high demand and it's a very expensive city. An average taxi costs you about $30, $35, $40. Well, it's no wonder it's the most expensive country in the world. One detail that can give you an idea of the quality of life in Switzerland is that it is very common to see high-end cars like BMW, Porsche, Land Rover, Audi, and Mercedes on an average street. This does not mean that you don't see more normal cars. Obviously, you see everything, but if the percentage of high-end cars is very high, look at this other detail for parking on the street. Okay, the parking meter, 30 min 1, 1H3, 2H750 for my 2 hours. $7.50. Parking like this on the street or in Borgo. And now, of course, if everything is so expensive, they must have very good salaries. And yes, Switzerland has one of the highest minimum wages in the world, being $23 per hour at the time I record this video. $23 per hour is good money. We are talking about a monthly estimate of $3,900 and an annual estimate of $46,800. A cool thing is that teachers in Switzerland have the highest minimum salary in the world, with the minimum for teachers being $68,000 per year. And all these are minimums. If we look at what people earn on average, it is, listen to me well, $89,000 a year. That is quality of life. But beware, living here also means you have to spend a lot. I can already see you at home dreaming, Naps, I'm going to Switzerland, save money, come back and open a restaurant. The classic dream that we have all had at some point, but it is not that easy. It is estimated that just to survive in Switzerland, you need a little more than $4,000 per month. And to support a family of, say, 4 people, around $7,500. So they earn a lot of money, but they also spend it like that, 2,000. Here comes an intervention from Louis Silo the drunkard. And did you know that Switzerland is quite a drunk country? Each person annually consumes an estimated 56 liters of exquisite beer, 36 liters of wine, and 8 liters of pure spirits, whether it be rum, whiskey, 2009, vodka, etc. This causes them around 1,600 deaths per year due to alcohol, whether from diseases, car accidents, etc. And they only export 2% of their wine, which means that if you want a good Swiss wine, you will most likely have to come directly to Switzerland. Switzerland is also an extremely chocolate-loving country. Let's see, obviously we don't think of Switzerland and immediately think of chocolate mountains, knives, fine watches, and chocolates or things that characterize the country. Well, here goes a fattening fact for you. It is estimated that each person in Switzerland eats about 10 kilos of chocolate per year. That's almost 30 grains of chocolate per day. However, they have a very low obesity rate there. The country produces around 150 tons of chocolate per year, of which it exports half. Let's talk about other living costs, for example, public transportation. In Zurich, there is no subway. They don't need it, as it is a city of just under 500,000 inhabitants. But they do have a tram that is very beautiful and very orderly. Well, the cheapest ticket to get on the tram is 4 francs and 0.40, almost $5 to get on that little train. And a liter of gasoline costs just under 1.80, almost double what it costs in other parts of the world. All right, let's get on the tram. I already bought my ticket. You buy it from these machines. Very simple. It even comes in English and everything. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if it's worth the almost $5. Okay, well, yes, very clean, very good. And they pass very frequently on the main streets. Every 3 minutes, a new one comes by. It's efficient. Oh, how crazy that nobody checks your ticket. Really, I could have gotten in for free. I didn't pay my $5 out of sheer honesty, and nobody checks your ticket. Hey, but I must mention, everything is so beautiful, very clean, very organized. The infrastructure is very lovely. The streets, everything is very walkable, but it is extremely damn cold. Right now that I'm visiting, it's not really the peak of winter season, and it's around -5 degrees. Otherwise, I don't know if I could live in such a cold place, where it's truly so cold for so many months of the year. I will have to return in the summer to be able to experience slightly longer days, because it gets dark here at 4:30 p.m. By 5, there is no more light, so it would be better to come in the summer to enjoy the warmth and have daylight until 9 more p.m. Switzerland is divine. I really loved it. Look how cool. A pump to put air in your bicycle tires, or at least I think that's what it is. I think it's well broken, right? But if it's not, you lift it up. Hey, very well. These kinds of things, these little details are what differentiate these very expensive countries. It is well said that things in Switzerland are more expensive than in other European countries. A good place to analyze this is McDonald's. If you know the famous Big Mac index that measures the cost of living in different countries, let's see, for example, while in a country like Spain, the Big Mac costs around $5, in Switzerland it costs $7.50. It is curious because despite having a good geographical location, import costs to Switzerland are very high, causing everyday expenses, for example, meat, to be twice as expensive as it would be in other European countries. Hey, why are we talking about curious laws in Switzerland? There is a law that is colloquially known as the Sunday law, and it means that on Sundays practically no one works, only the absolutely essential services, and nothing is open. And the Sunday law also consists of not being able to make any noise. We're talking about not being able to turn on your washing machine, mow your lawn, or wash your car in a very extravagant way because you could be fined. And another law that I find very interesting to mention is regarding pets. In Switzerland, animals are highly protected to the point where they are protected psychologically. If you want to have a small pet, for example, a hamster, a fish, a rabbit, a small animal like that, you need to have at least 2 so they can keep each other company. And if one of them happens to die, you need to get another one as soon as possible or even rent one. I'm not lying, there are places that rent you a pet so you don't break the law. So what do you think? I don't know, very exaggerated, very good as you would define it. What an interesting fact, isn't it? Really disturbing? Let's just call it an interesting fact. So there you have it, a bit of Switzerland, the country that today, according to various sources and interpretations, is the most expensive in the world. Would you like to live in a place like this? Let me know in the comments below. Did you know any of these interesting facts? Thank you for joining me. See you as always. You know it, in a few days with a new video. Goodbye.